Welcome to the Chronicles of Construction. My name is Chioma Wogu, like you know. I'm the executive producer of the Chronicles of Construction. And today we are live with architect Chioma Wogu Ogbonna, and she's the second vice president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, as at today being 11th of September 2025, which by November she will be the first vice president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects by God's grace. However, I will want her to do an introduction of herself before we move into other questions while we are here today.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, BJ. Good to have you here. Like I said, my name is architect Chioma Wogu Ogbonna, primarily an architect, an estate surveyor and valuer, a facility management professional, and a project manager. Currently, I'm the second vice president of our great institute, the Nigerian Institute of Architects, that BJ has already introduced. And I work for the government as a director in the Department of Federal Public Assets Maintenance of the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. Thank you.
As a director, how do you translate the principles of good design into large-scale government projects? What's your unique role in that process?
Well, thank you, BJ. And like I said earlier on, I work in the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. You could say having the round peg in the round hole. So what we do is all about housing and being an architect. It's majorly government projects. Like some years ago, I was a team lead for the National Housing Program in Bayelsa. Got the land for the one in River State. So what we did there was just to provide houses for the citizens of Nigeria. Now, part of our goals that in the ministry here is to make sure we close the gap in housing deficit. And apart from the National Housing Program, we've gone ahead to do Renewed Hope houses. As we have the Renewed Hope estates, Renewed Hope cities. And I would say my minister has done so well in the aspect of closing the gap in the housing deficit. So my role as a director in the ministry overseeing some of these projects, like I said, I work in the Department of Federal Public Asset Maintenance. So what we do is to do the maintenance of government assets, primarily in the housing sector. So for these projects, the federal secretariats, NDAs, National Housing Program, and all of that, we make sure that they are retained almost in the original state. You know, so we make sure the houses are not, government houses are not obsolete. So I will tell you, like in my department, we have the policy to oversee this maintenance, and it's called the National Public Building Maintenance Policy. That was as 2020. So by 2022, it translated into an executive order 11, which lately I got a gazetted copy. And apart from it being an executive order, it was now christened the National Public Building is Maintenance Order 11. So this is the instrument of government and the power that has been given to my department to oversee the maintenance of all the public assets.
And that's great. And that's actually, with that concept, I think it's going to reduce having all sorts of dilapidated government properties, abandoned projects, and things like that. But I remember there was a time we had the conversation and you were talking about an app or something that was developed in the ministry in regards to monitoring of the government assets and things like that.
When I did the program with the Egimogwede Foundation under the Blevnik School of Government, Oxford University, So my capstone project then, because I was a deputy director in charge of the Asset Inventory and Condition Assessment Division of the Department of for the Public Asset Maintenance in my ministry. So I was thinking of how to improve the collation of the government assets. And, you know, because what we do then is get the schedule of dilapidation and every other information necessary for maintenance of such buildings. So I now work closely with my team, and I work closely with an IT expert to develop an app. So the app now, it's once it's fully in use and we onboard the information we've got so far. So at a click of your mouse, you'll be able to see all the assets.
That's wonderful.
According to the ministries that own them, you will see the years of commission, current state in operation, the value of the project and all of that. So even the location, GPS, you click, you'll see the location.
What's one major initiative you are most passionate about in NIA? As NIA's second vice president of the Nigerian Institute of Architects, how does the institute connect with the public?
I know you will agree with me that Madam President has done so much. You know, the Unite agenda, you know, so we're always on our toes. We've been collaborating with not just the people in the built industry, with everybody, the entire society as well. Like the other day now, in line with even what we do here in the ministry, we have stakeholders engagement with the House Committee on Disability, you know, people with disability. So NIA made their presentation on how all the, you know, the enforcement of the act. I'm sure you're aware there's an act on Disability Act of 2018, you know, that all the public buildings
must
should be user-friendly with them, you know. So, I mean, in terms of the ramps, accessibility to all these government buildings, public buildings, and, you know, even the conveniences, you know, you find out that most of these public assets or buildings do not even factor in people with disability.
We've had series of lamentations
NIA,
about that.
it's in part of our collaboration with the House Committee on that disability, people with disability. It's to make sure that we partner with them and to do public building audits to see that these houses are compliant with the Act and user-friendly with the PWD.
Okay, so now I'm going to switch into family matters.
Okay.
Because I know you're an architect. Your husband is an architect. I think he became a fellow a couple of years ago. Okay, and
8 years ago.
8 years ago, right? 8 years ago, and then I know your son is an architect. So, with 3 architects in your family, what's the biggest lesson you have learned about the profession at home? What advice do you give your son? Let me put it that way, because you're 3 of them. So.
Oh yeah, interesting. That's my bragging rights as a person. You know, I'm always flaunting it that I'm a wife, proud wife of an architect, proud mother of an architect, and it excites me because even when I was in primary school, I got inspired by Actor Dan Wankwa. Well, his 2 sons are architects as well. One of them, coincidentally, is chair of Enugu chapter. Well, we went to their house and, you know, we said, well, I like this house. Who is he? My dad said he's an architect. I think we went to take a plan for the village house. And all I could see about the plot in the village was a thick bush. And you're here showing me this is your room. My father was so excited. I said, who is he? And my father said, ask, you know. I asked, uncle, sorry, who are you? What do you do? He said, he's an architect, you know, and so many other things that fascinated me in the house and all of that. So prayer points doubled, you know, marry architect, be architect, just have money, to let the children go for summer and all of that. The long story cut short, and to the glory of God, prayer answered. You understand? So I'm proudly married to an architect, Architect Wogu Ogbonna. He's a fellow of a great institute. He's doing very well. in his private sector practice and all of that. So, and God now blessed us with a son who did so well in architecture. He made a first class, went to Canada, made distinction.
Great. Wonderful.
He's just, it's God's doing, and it's prayer answered. So
that's good.
You're looking at a prayer warrior, and if you want something done. So, but I love architecture with a passion, and I love architects. Yeah.
You have held many leadership roles. What was your most challenging career moment, and how did it shape your approach to achieving your goals?
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't know which one will I say it's my most challenging. Before I even joined the government, the public sector, I was already practicing with my husband, doing partnership thing, So I think back then, we were still using drawing board and all of that. So at some point, sometime 1999, I was still very heavily with my daughter and, we had a project and we had a deadline. So I think it was somebody's country home in my husband's village. So my husband took on the main building and I was to do one other building. It was 2-floor kind of thing and all of that. We were trying to beat deadline, and look at me with a stomach that couldn't fit into the drawing board, and it was so inconveniencing to stand to your stomach, that you couldn't sit with a tall stool and all of that. So, but at least it was interesting as in practicing, trying to make money as a mother-to-be, and the challenges of having to deal with the drawing board and how inconveniencing it was at that time. So those days were challenging. Then I've had quite a number of challenges in the government sector, having to work in Bayelsa, waterlogged area, some feeling, and even the unrest in such areas, having to fear for your life, safety, some things. And, people will now wonder, why would even a woman or a normal woman venture into that kind of a thing, So one of the days, even to escape from the site, it was just by the grace of God.
Thank you very much for your time. And then we have a couple of organizations which are building material manufacturers. We won't mind if you can give a shout out to them.
They've partnered with us over the years, and even in government here, we specify some of their products because they're user-friendly. Quite a number of them are very affordable, they're durable, so we specify them. And for our friends who are in the private sector, they specify them. So our partnering with them over the years, and more friendship and everything they will be doing with us even in future have been quite beneficial, mutually beneficial.
And there are a lot of programs coming up in the NIA, like the NIA BGM coming up, and several others. They can also be part of those.
Absolutely,
activities.
the Archibute, is an annual program. So this time around, it's going to be on our site by the special grace of God, and we looked at having to do it in August and people coming back for the BGM. So the council, through Madam President, have agreed, let's make it a one-stop shop thing for everybody. Come for Archibute, use it to do BGM, use it to do so many other things that we'll be doing. So that's it. I thank them for partnering with us, for believing in us, and supporting us over the years. So shout out to them.
Thank you very much, ma'am.